All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning to you. It is Thursday, January 28th, 2021. I'm coming to you live from my old stomping grounds up here in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. This is where I went to college, man. I'm up here visiting my good buddy John Rugg here at Laurel Asphalt. This morning, we're going to dig into the truth about gurus. Let's get started.
It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life, and then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up.
All right, guys, what's happening? Good morning to you and happy Thursday. I am coming to you live from Johnstown. I'm getting this shared out here, so give me a second. Coming to you live from Johnstown, Pennsylvania. This place is near and dear to my heart. I spent my college years up here at the University of Pittsburgh, Johnstown, and so I got connected with my buddy John Rugg here. And John, this is a crazy story. So John and I connected via Facebook, correct?
Yep.
Via Facebook, and John grew up in the small town right next to the small town that I grew up in. And then John's business that I'm sitting in right now is literally a couple miles from the front door of the college that I went to right here in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. So, man, what a crazy story and what a cool story of meeting just a great person and get to meet his whole company up here today. So looking forward to that. But that is the power of social media, guys. So for those of you who sometimes get sick of social media like we all do, think about that, man. You never know who you're going to meet when you put yourself out there and, man, just get connected to some cool people. So want to say good morning to some folks here before we dig in. Good morning, Carla, Jared Bird. Good morning to you, Derek Swank. Thank you for being here, man. You've been on a roll here being with us this week. David Martin, good morning to you. Trudy, good morning. Tammy Clark here, as always, 4:30 a.m. on the West Coast. My girl Tammy is always here. And Carrie Schmidt, you grew up in Sharon, Pennsylvania. That's right up the street from me. I'm in Cranberry right now living. So good morning to you guys, and thank you guys for being here. So one of the topics that has been on my mind recently, and I get this question quite a bit as well, talking about just coaching in general and coaches that are out there. People refer to them as gurus these days. So I wanted to talk with you guys a little bit through the truth about gurus and what I have experienced over the last handful of years here, hiring coaches myself, being in a lot of groups where there are coaches and people who are trying to help others, and there's a lot of them out there, right? And, some of the challenges with gurus, as we call them today, is knowing which ones are the right ones to work with, which ones are kind of not the best to work with. And just like anything, there's going to be really great ones, and there's going to be ones that you probably want to stay away from. And so we're going to dig into that this morning. And so some of the things that I made as far as notes to talk about this morning is, how do you know whether a guru or a coach is real or not? And I think that's an easy question to answer. Number one, you just look at their history. And you really, really study that history. Don't just look at the surface level of it, but really try to figure out, does this add up to me? What does my gut tell me about this person, right? How do you know who's real, who's legit, and who's not? You can tell a lot just by reading somebody's resume, reading their profiles. Does everything seem to line up? Can you Google this person and everything seems to line up to what they're telling you? And the other thing is have a conversation with them and ask for other people to kind of verify what they're talking about. If you're looking to hire somebody to kind of improve your life, or you're looking to join a mastermind or something like that, you have to really figure out what that person has done. What have they accomplished? What is their experience? And usually, as Michael Nash just said here, if they master what they teach and they have translated that to others, there's going to be success that follows that, not just for themselves, but for those people who they have educated and they have led. So for me personally as a coach, I had a lot of challenges being confident, delivering information in the beginning, because I really honestly just didn't ever feel qualified as a coach. I looked at a lot of these people who sell courses, who, do things like the gurus do. And, I didn't believe a lot of it, because in my experience of working with what people would call gurus in our industry, I didn't see a massive amount of value being exchanged, right? I just saw, people reading stuff out of books and kind of, passing that information that they had read in books on to other people. It wasn't a lot of real life experience. And so that left me with kind of questioning whether or not consultants or gurus or coaches actually had any value. And so for me, it is, really digging in and really looking into who this person is. Does their story add up? What is their experience? And if you do that, if you check those boxes, you're probably going to weed out a good portion of the people that you probably shouldn't be doing business with, or you shouldn't be even following, right? Because they're probably providing you with information that could be inaccurate, or it could not be based in experience, right? Just based in theory. And so that's a big choice, is, make sure that you're getting advice from people that are coming from a place of experience, not from a place of theory. So the second thing that I wrote down here is it worth investing into working with a coach, or working with a guru, as they call them today? And my answer would be simply, yes, it is worth it, as long as you kind of qualify them properly, right? For me personally, I was just sharing with John here this morning, I've invested a lot of money into my coaching. Actually, Michael Nast is somebody that taught me a lot about social media, and he's on this stream. There's been other people that I've invested money into to learn different aspects of social media and different aspects of business and sales and everything. And so what that did for me is it enabled me to shorten the cycle of what I needed to learn, right? So I could produce better results in a shorter period of time. And so that's what we're all looking to do, is to get the most out of it. So how do we quantify that? If we can spend, a couple $1,000s, but that couple $1,000s allows us to make $10,000 more, $20,000 more as a result of it, then that obviously makes a lot of sense for us to do, right? If we have that money and we can invest into it. So the short answer is yes, given that you qualify the person and that they have some track record of producing success for other people, I believe that it is absolutely, without a doubt, worth working with a coach or somebody like that can help you kind of speed things along, and that knows something that you don't know, right? There should be, without a doubt, crystal clear things that you think that person can bring to the table for you or your business that you don't currently possess. The next question I wrote down here is, how do you choose who you want to work with? And this, for me, is a question that goes far beyond just the question of gurus, right? Is, who do you choose to work with, period, in life? Who do you choose to work alongside? How do you hire your employees? How do you decide which customers you're going to do business with? And so, especially when you're working with a coach, it is critically important for you to feel like your values align with that person. Like, you can have a conversation and you leave that conversation really feeling inspired and motivated, and like you're on the same page, like there's some rhythm to that conversation and the energy is right. It is extremely important for you to understand that person that you're working with. We just recently launched the Top Contractor Inner Circle program, and I am blessed to say that, like, all of those people that are in that group, man, they really have very similar values, all of them. And those values, without a doubt, align with mine. And I spent time actually interviewing those folks so that we made sure that we were placing the right people in that group, and that all of that stuff would be right, so that those people could communicate and build their businesses alongside people that believed what they believed. And so I would say that when you're looking for any type of coaching or guidance, that is the number one thing. And I think that sometimes we overlook that portion because a person might have knowledge that we want, but they don't necessarily have the same values as we have. And so we will take that knowledge, not understanding what the negative impact of somebody not having the same value system or not believing the same things could have on us or our business through those conversations or that relationship, right? So just making sure that all of that stuff feels right. I think we've all been in situations where that felt right. And I think we've all been in situations where our gut told us to be a little careful or to be hesitant. And we blew past that red light, and it probably doesn't end well most of the time when we blow past those red lights. So who you choose to work with, I think you evaluate them based on their experience and their knowledge and all that stuff. But it's critically important for you to be looking at, do your values actually align? Ask them why they are a coach, right? And ask them about the rest of their life. How does the rest of their life function? And does that align with your values and your beliefs? And last but not least, is there a return on investment from working with a guru? And the answer is, if you check all the right boxes, you choose the right person, you make sure that person is coming from a place of experience and not theory. You feel confident in investing with them, and you have the right values that align. I can speak from experience that my personal success, my personal income has multiplied by working with the right people, by getting the right information, by surrounding myself with the right people and hiring the right coaches. It comes down to just making sure that all of those boxes are checked, and the rest of it takes care of itself. The ROI will be there if you choose the right people to work with and you have the right plan for what you need to develop, right? And if you have that plan and you are pushing that, then 100% you're going to get a massive ROI from working with a coach. The other thing that I would tell you is you have to be all in working with that. It's got to be a long-term thing, right? It's got to be something that you stick to, because sometimes those things take time to develop. That relationship takes time to develop. It takes you time to figure out exactly what it is that are the gaps that you're looking for. But as long as the rest of those things line up, as long as you believe that you're working with the right person and everything lines up in your gut, that it feels right, then the ROI is going to be massive for you, because that person, again, believes the same things as you, is going to hold you accountable, is going to give you those things that you can't see. One of my favorite quotes about coaching is that, sometimes you can't see the picture when you're inside the frame, right? And so having a coach or having a guru that is qualified is a really important piece, in my opinion, of business success. I think that people that have coaches will always be more successful than those that don't. And so there is a lot of conversation, and in fairness, there's a lot of negativity that is surrounding gurus, right? And so when you talk about these people, the reason that the negativity exists is there are a lot of them out there that aren't qualified, that don't have experience, that are coming from a place of theory and not experience. But there are a lot of great coaches out there that have significant knowledge. When we hired Michael Nast as our social media coach, what you see today on social media, I did not barely exist on social media before I hired Michael Nast, and he showed us the ropes of exactly how everything worked. And that has produced millions of dollars in business for our company over the years. And it is 100% worth that investment, and it will absolutely give you a massive ROI if you are committed and you have hired the right person on the other side of it, and they are committed. So I hope this message was helpful. I hope that clarifies if any of you guys were thinking about, do I invest into myself, or, should I just keep, consuming the content that's out there? And both of those are great options, right? If you're not at that place where you can invest, that's fine. You just keep consuming the content until you get to a point. If you consume enough free content, you're probably going to grow yourself to a point where you can afford to invest a little bit of money to help yourself get better. And I will just end on this. The investments that I have made in my life, there's a lot of them, right, that I've invested into equipment and vehicles and technology and all kinds of stuff. By far, it is without a doubt the most important thing that you can do is invest in yourself, right? To choose the right person to be working with, to guide you not just through business, but also through life. And so I'll leave you guys with that. I hope you guys have an awesome Thursday and an awesome rest of your week here. I will see you again tomorrow morning, same place, same time, right here on Morning Perspective. Love you guys.